or what's going on?
Pretty much for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're what, in Atlanta?
Most of the I'm from Southfield. I still live here, but most of the time I'm in Atlanta.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say
live
you're-
there too.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got what any other shows lined up coming up in the future? Not necessarily Detroit, but
Oh yeah. New York, San Diego, what where Austin, not Austin, Texas. I just came back from there. San Antonio, Texas, and somewhere else I'm forgetting. It's like another place.
Which city do you anticipate is going to be the best show? Because I'm sure you've been to them all before.
Oh,
so
Miami actually.
Miami?
Um,
They love that shit. Have you ever
Well,
done? Have you ever done like Ultra?
no,
No.
and it's
yeah, but that gets into that whole commercial EDM crap.
yeah.
I just asked festival.
But
Yeah, I know, but it's one of those festivals that, like, to me, is annoying because it's a whole crowd of kids going for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
You know, they're just going because it's a festival. They're not going because of the phenomenal artists that they're trying to see.
Yeah, well, I think that's true. You're right. But I think those major companies, they ran out of things to really monetize. So it went to, EDM or electronic music or whatever. Because they're losing money. And I think that was just the new thing to jump on,
And everybody's a DJ these days.
Yeah, and
everybody's a
that's-
DJ.
Yeah,
Well,
man.
if it makes you guys feel any better, remember we talked about that Zac Efron movie a couple months ago?
Yeah.
And it just bombed. I mean, bombed.
And every DJ I seen, DJ Psycho was not happy about it. He was posting about
I
it.
never heard of it.
It's called We Are All Your Friends, by the way.
It's basically like a movie about electronic and things like that, and they really depict it in a horrible way. It goes with everything that we've been saying about
stereotypes?
Yeah, every stereotype you could possibly think of, neon clothes and things like that, and it's not focused on where electronic music came from and how things were developed and how they got to where they're at now. You know. Who's some of your favorites to play with in Detroit or from Detroit? You do quite a few. A lot of people book you with Godfather.
Yeah, I mean, I look up to, I think the people who started it still, even though we're a lot different, even a difference in age and difference in style, but I look up to originality, man. It's like, so I love like the Derek May still and all of them. I mean, Jeff Mills,
Crazy story
Juan
about
Atkins. I mean, because they started something original, Detroit techno.
Right.
How can you be more original than that? And
Right.
that's what I look at. Not people that look at trends and see what's happening. Oh, I'm going to jump on this. Oh, I'm going to jump on that. I think, like I say, they had to love what they do or had to have did it from the heart or they wouldn't have, did what they did, basically. Or it wouldn't have been, on that scale. They wouldn't have had that scale of success, even though that's, people don't really talk about it unless you like a historian or something of where techno came from. And it's not even, about playing all of their music or whatever for me, but I look up to people that, are the people who step out there and say, I represent this because it's real to me.
Yeah, I got a crazy story about Derek May. He was playing here not long ago, and I forget who went out before him. It was some kind of a dubstep or something like that. But the place had about 300 people in there. And Derek May came on after, and the whole place cleared out, and there was about 30 people in there.
Oh.
And most of these kids did not know who Derek May was. And it was like, right there, that is a problem. To me, somebody who, like you said, pioneered or came out, or an originator, and if you're, it doesn't matter what specific genre, say it be house or techno or whatever. It's all electronic or dance music, and for people not to know that's like a rapper saying, "I don't know who NWA is."
There are some.
Well, there are some. Yeah, it is some. But at the same time, I mean, how would I say it? Times change, and that's another thing that I studied. Some of the multi-platinum producers back in the day fell off because the times and the trends changed, and they couldn't change with them. I mean, you don't have to love dubstep, but how do you relate to people who like dubstep and what you do?
Right. That's what I was talking about, trying to put two things together,
right,
to open, okay, these kids only like dubstep. Well, what can we fit in there to open them up to another genre or another type of music, and that's when even like trap step, they get into that, and that's kind of blending of the rap or something into that, and that does get a lot of the hip hop and rap crowd to open up to electronic.
Right.
I just don't. I don't not care for dubstep. There's certain dubstep that I just don't like. I don't like repetitive things either. I don't like happy hardcore and things like that. But I get it. I understand people who like it. I understand that. It's just a little bit repetitive and too fast paced for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I kind of try to pay attention to what, at least like whatever the 20-somethings are into, kind of, because, I mean, if you want to stay around, it's like they have to be able to relate to what you're doing. And like I say, people cleared out. It's unfortunate. But
do you feel that those kids are being influenced by radio and by promotions and stuff, channeling, so they're not really being presented with everything? For the first time in a long time, electronic is being put into commercials and things like that, but they're using dubstep. Right. So if they used a different genre, that would be the up and coming thing. So I think that corporations and things like that kind of channel things where they want to go, not necessarily, because a lot of kids don't do research. Right. So they don't check out the other music or the older music or any kind of other genre. They like what's popular.
Right.
And so I think a big part of that is I almost went out. Some bikes going by. Man, it rumbles down this alley here, this channel here. I think there's a lot of. That's one thing that bothers me about mainstream radio is the repetitive and not opening it up. And I get it. They have to make their money, and stuff like that. But at the same hand, we've got millions and millions of artists out there.
Right. Yeah, and it killed the art form.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even look at hip hop. I mean, it's like the same 8 songs every hour.
Well, but see, that's the problem. Is that that's what's on radio. Mm-hmm. Like that's what's being pushed to radio.
Right. Yeah.
Hip hop is more than what the same 8 songs on the radio. Hip hop is actually in. I feel like hip hop is in its best place right now because you have more people than ever taking their families out of their situations through hip-hop.
Yeah, but look at it, though.
Just because what they decide to push out to the people, real hip-hop fans, can actually find good hip-hop.
Yeah, that's true.
The lazy hip-hop fans are just going to go for what's on the radio and think that that's what's hot. And really, they don't like it. It's just popular.
But are those people, they just like music in general, and they're not trying, it's not somebody who's passionate about music who does that research. There is a difference in that. Look how many people are like, NWA, after this movie came out, they're like, NWA.
My nose on camera?
Wow.
You want to say something.
What's that?
I saw someone on Instagram that had one guy from Atlanta. I forget his name, but he was talking about trap music. So it showed his son get the degree, and then it said, well, he's telling his kid to get a degree, but telling your kids to push dope.
Right. Right.
So what effect is some of this hip hop having on the youth?
Right.
Yes.
They're pushing as well. So it might help a couple families, but then what effect is it having on the youth, the stuff that they're pushing on the radio?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's true. And if you look at it, I think that's propaganda, really, because hip hop, the mainstream hip hop, is nothing positive that's popular, and it's kind of weird. Like everything is the trap. You should strip, girl. You know, it's weird. It kind of make me look at kind of the songs I did. It was fun, but when everybody is doing it, it's like I would never tell a kid that, and that's kind of weird to me.
Oh. Greening Detroit just stepped up.
Oh.
They're in the house. So, are you familiar with Greening Detroit? They're a company that helps promote events and businesses and stuff like that. So it's really good.
Oh, okay. No, I don't think I'm familiar with them.
How you doing?
Doing good. Hi.
Thanks for coming down. Is John here too?
He is. Tommy's right over there.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
I didn't even
we've
see you
got
guys
him
walk up. Yeah. This is is it Kathleen?
Kathleen.
Kathleen from Greening Detroit.
Oh, okay.
Now, will you kind of fill people in on what Greening Detroit is or what it's about?
Yes. Absolutely. Greeningdetroit.com is an online mirror of the Metro Detroit community with a kind of a perspective of green, ecology, sustainability, and local. So, and natural health as well.
Okay, awesome.
So we represent government agencies, educators, nonprofits, for-profits, a lot of different organizations, about 300 different organizations that are online that are representing the community.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so they come down to cover this event as well. Metro Times will be down here. We're shooting a reality show. That's going to be filmed for this. It's called New World Detroit, and that is opening up people that this is a new Detroit. This isn't the exploited, negative, crumbling Detroit that everybody wanted to glorify. That there are great things happening here. There's lots of development. The city is growing, and moving in the right direction. So also, obviously Expose and Cave is here covering it. Watch Detroit. That's TJ over here that's been filming us. So watchdetroit.com, and he's been coming around, and he also is on the same page of trying to help people see a lot of the new things that are going on in Detroit, from businesses to events and everything in between. So I think this is a really great this contest. It started off as a model search, but it has brought together a lot of great people and great coverage, and is showing a positive light on Detroit, which is really what is needed. I'm so sick of people exploiting the crumbling buildings, and yeah, we do have that. We came from a bad time, but the city is working hard, and I've seen the most positive change in the past 6 months to a year than I've had in a long time. And over the past 2 to 3 years, it has been gradual. But this last 6 months to a year has been a great change to see all this stuff coming to Detroit. So